What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J Lag, and I'm here with
NB,
and we are covering off American Horror Story Cult, season 7. Is it season 7? Episode 2, and it's called I Don't Know.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
So, like, overall, what did you think of the episode?
I think it's like a lot of lead up still. It's like still so much lead up. Like little pieces are moving very slowly. So it was like it was like transitional to me. There wasn't anything about it that was scary. I think that I don't know. I know we talked about it last week a little bit, but I just feel like this season is not that scary. It's more just like real.
Yeah.
Like scary
but
real.
I never watch AHS to be like, is it scary? Because I don't really care if it's like scaring the shit out of me. I just care if it's like making sense.
Don't you know?
And if it's like entertaining, which, yeah, a part of it is being scary and being like, you know, engaging and like it pulls you in. But like when Sarah Paulson's yelling and screaming and crying for like 48 minutes, like I'm not really into this.
That's fair.
I felt like she plays this role every season almost, like basically she plays a crazy like person every season.
She just cries a lot,
and it works for the most part. But like it's already episode 2, and I'm already sick of it. So like I don't even know what's gonna happen like later on. I was so into like the new characters, like the neighbors that like moved in across the street. Like I'm down for all that new like storyline, but I already know like why they're there and like who they
where
are
it's going
and like where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So just her running around the house like screaming and crying, like I don't know, like it was kind of like a waste of like 45 minutes for me. But like there definitely is lead up, but like it's kind of annoying lead up. You know what I mean? And yeah, I wasn't scared at all. Like I was predicting every single jump scare that was coming.
Everything
like,
that was gonna happen.
I was like, okay, I'm bracing myself for this because like I know what's gonna happen right now. But I think you're kind of right in what you were saying last week, how you were predicting that like she might, like Sarah Paulson's character might like turn to the darkness.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see more of that happening like this episode. And
she gets a gun.
So yeah, let's talk about like sort of just like the breakdown
Some
of
the
like, what happened.
Top moments. So yeah, neighbors move in
across the street.
Yeah. Apparently the Changs,
they're dead. Called?
Yeah, they're dead, and they were renting. So like these guys swooped in and bought the house.
Which I don't really believe that, like, anyways.
Housing market.
I don't believe
understand.
That.
So
right from the start, like Sarah Paulson sees like as if she's like she should be lurking, like she's lurking like from the window from her house, and she sees them like wheeling in these like really like Breaking Bad style like bins. Blue like huge bins like into their like garage. So she's like, oh my god, like they're already sketch. And like the man who's played by freaking what's his face, Billy Eichner, I think. He's like amazing.
He's so funny.
He's wearing like a thing, like a bee, like
he's wearing like a Breaking Bad hazmat
literally
suit. Literally it's Breaking Bad,
and it's just the creepiest scene ever.
So she like sneaks in or tries to sneak up and see what's going on, and he like clocks her, and then
like, so
she runs, and then she awkwardly runs away.
He's
bro,
like
they're your neighbors, like, they know where
hi.
You live. Just to be like, oh sorry, I was just like checking in.
Like
and
you ran away across the street to your house,
like that's
like you didn't run away.
I think here's the problem. Like the character of Allie is very very like frustrating because I don't like people like that in real life, and I don't like getting behind a protagonist that I don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
She's annoying.
I think that she's annoying.
In the first episode, I was like okay with it. I was like, she's sick. Like,
I mean,
let's see if she gets
sick
better.
About her? She's like scared of everything.
She's
like literally scared of everything.
She refuses to take her medication, which I'm like, girl, you need this medication. Like, please,
I feel like they copy pasted part of the script from episode 1 to episode 2, where she's like, I think I'm going crazy. Something's wrong with me. I need to get help. Like, I think that's what she says in the first. I don't know what's real. Like, she already said that. Like, why is she saying it?
Yeah, you're right. I felt like all those moments were just like adding on to what happened. That we know she's crazy. She literally saw a grocery store full of clowns. Like, that's pretty messed up. Like we get crazy. It. Like, she's going crazy. But now it's like.
And now it's coming to, I think now it's coming to a frustrating point because like now I don't know when to be scared because I don't know if it's her dream or not. You know what I mean? So like by the end with a home invasion or like home invasion question mark, like I don't even know if it's real. Like when these guys get into her house or don't get into her house at the end of the episode, like how do you even know like what's real? And at that point in time, I'm like, okay, am I supposed to be scared? Is it a dream?
So
like I don't
so
care
basically
anymore.
What happens in the episode? So that happens. She goes to they get an alarm call from like their restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And she goes to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And there's a legit dead person like in their fridge.
Hanging
Like he was for sure dead,
he
which I was
real.
confused about because I was like, okay, is this like her dream again?
But
But then like they came back and they were like, no, he's legit dead.
He's dead.
So like obviously shit's going down in this town. Like stuff is happening for real.
Yeah.
Someone is playing a game on them right now.
Yeah.
So it's like every time I'm like, this girl's crazy. I'm like, but she's not crazy. Like someone just got murdered in her fridge at work. Like this is like
That's,
real
like,
though.
traumatizing.
Yeah. So like she has every right to put like cages over her windows. Like she's right.
Yeah.
So it leaves you in a really like weird like spot. And, like I don't know how to feel.
And like I think for her, she's scared of both situations. She's scared of like real life, and she's scared of like her fake life.
Yeah.
But like for us, like as the viewer, it doesn't work because we
don't even know what's the fake.
Because we don't know what's real or what's not. So like, how am I supposed to?
Yeah.
And I really hope that they don't keep pulling this kind of like that kind of theme for the rest of the season, because I'm gonna feel like I'm not gonna care anymore, or it's gonna teach me that like clowns are not scary at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's pulling away this fear where I think it's supposed to, like, where I see her freaking out and I'm like, as the viewer, being like, I don't really care because I don't know what's real or not. I don't believe you. I don't believe you as the cinema or the director telling me whatever is real or not. You know, like I think that when you're watching something, you're expecting the person who's telling the story to be as honest and as truthful as possible. So when you're displaying something that's supposed to be like someone's imagination, how am I supposed to know what's real or not? And it's supposed to be, I think what he's going for is to be like, oh, everything is scary. Like, doesn't matter if it's real or not. Clowns are still scary. The dark is still scary. So you should be scared with my character. But I don't feel that way at all. I feel like I don't really care either way now. I'm so indifferent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel about it right now. Like, I just feel like nothing is... I think it's working, unless that's what he wants us to feel, is he wants us to feel like not scared of anything, which I don't think that's the point of American Horror Story.
I don't think he's trying to scare us. I think he's trying to show the breakdown of like someone like she is full out having a mental breakdown, and like how fear can control people, like how it's controlling her. And it was it was almost a little too obvious in this episode.
Yeah.
So the neighbors like move in, and like she ends up like the babysitter. Yeah. She ends up like sending the kid to like the neighbor like across the street like, to chill.
Right.
And then they go across the street to like check.
For one of the things that I was like really annoyed about this episode was like, why are they keeping this woman around
who looks so weird, by the way? Like she does not look normal.
She looks like Wednesday Addams. Yeah, from the Addams family.
They're like totally okay with like her kid, the kid like being with her
like
when there's like murders running around town. Yeah. Like it was like it's so weird. So they go across the street and they meet the couple, which is like the honey guy and like the woman.
Yeah.
And right away, like, you know, like the way he was talking about like the honey, like the bees, like being a colony and like fighting for one freaking mission.
Right.
I was like, okay, this guy's like KKK or like something. Like obviously he's like, I think he's the cult leader. Like whatever cult there is, I feel like he's the leader. He's the organizer. He's like the whatever. And then like even like when they go inside the house, she was like,
there were like a lot of
so many weird references. She was like the Beyonce, like the lemonade. Yeah. Like Beyonce.
So I have so many amazing moments.
What are you trying to like say? And then he comes out as like being gay.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm gay, but like we just got married like at 35, whatever. I was like, okay, is he lying or is he like? Right. Is he playing on the fact that they're like two lesbians, so like he's trying to make it seem like they're like friends, or like they're more like liberal, you know? Right.
I mean, I think he's definitely gay.
And then the Real Housewives, Real Housewives comment killed me.
He's like, have you seen Big Little Lies? She's transcendent.
Yeah, what's the Nicole Kidman reference though? I didn't get it.
Because I think he's in love with Nicole Kidman. I think after she did Big Little Lies, like he like loved like Ryan Murphy.
Oh, Ryan Murphy. Yeah, okay,
for sure. Okay. He like messaged her as soon as like apparently like in real life. Kind of a reach
though, if like you didn't know that. Like, I thought he had something with like the guy in the show had something with her.
I feel like
I'm like, what everyone has she done like.
I mean, Big Little Lies was
like
amazing.
Love. It was, but like also like half the audience might not have watched it.
I mean, no, I don't think you're supposed to reference it as like a cult leader. I think you're supposed to reference it as a gay person or someone who's like in love with like the drama of Nicole Kidman and like how amazing she is and how she like came back out of nowhere. Yeah. Like everybody felt that same way. Like if you're gay or if you're a girl.
Yeah.
Like who's watched her?
Basically, then he talks about Real Housewives, which I was like, holy shade.
Yeah.
Because she was like, the wife was like, I even watched the Atlanta one, which is like predominantly like the black one. I'm like,
one.
oh my god, like it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But like it's funny at this point because like it's so obvious.
So what do you think about these characters? So like you're clocking them as like people part of a cult, but they're showing us characters that we're not really familiar with. Like, yes, he's a gay character, but he's also like he
has like a friggin' safe full of guns,
and he's obviously like he feels some type of way about immigrants because like they were interviewed in the beginning when that assault happened to the other guy, Kai.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think his name's Kai or something like that. And so you know that he's like he feels some type of way, and obviously she probably would too because like they're together. So you're seeing these two people who you think are like would be normal and quirky and fun and like the typical like I'm a gay guy and I'm like here with my girl and like we're just like chilling in this house and whatever, but obviously they have these like very strong feelings
for sure
about something. And so in between this week and last week I watched an interview where Sarah Paulson was on Jimmy Fallon, and basically she says that this season is going to really focus on the breakdown of communication and the lack of communication that happened on both sides with the election and with just like life in general, and how you need to communicate in order to get things done. And so you can definitely see that it's very apparent in this episode where she observes, she doesn't ask questions like when they invite her over to the house. And so like as soon as like they start asking her about like their lives and like what they're going on, she's like, I gotta go, you know. And even her wife was like, they're quirky and they're weird, but like
she didn't really
like why can't you talk to them about it? You know what I mean? Like she was like, what's in those barrels, what's going on here and here. So I really feel like they're trying to set them up to be like these very evil characters,
and then they're not gonna be.
I don't know if they're not gonna be. I feel like they still might be, but at the same time I feel like they I think that's what it's all about. I think it's about breaking down the communication and breaking down assumptions about people that you know. Like, when would you ever assume a gay guy would ever be like a gun-toting racist? Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I think also that's what the election showed, is that like these people who you thought were going to vote one way either didn't vote at all, or they voted for the complete opposite side. Yeah. And you have to ask yourself why. Yeah. And like his character like expresses that fully in the episode because he's like, it's ISIS, it's this, it's that, it's the global warming. Like he's showing that like, yo, the more fear you have, you're sketching out so hard. Like look at what you're doing right now. Yeah. Even though I feel like he's above, like he's definitely able
to control his fears, right? Like he's able to like make.
But I'm sure that's what even pushed them to that, like to be. Like, what's up with her sun, like, allergy? I was, like, trying to, like...
Her... Oh, yeah.
She's like, I can't be in the sun.
Well, because she had cancer, apparently.
Oh, yeah, true. See, even that is, like, I have cancer, so, like, I'm so fearful now.
Yeah.
It's just, like, everyone's fear.
Everyone's fears. Yeah. Everyone's scared of something.
He's like, she hates being touched because, like, she had cancer. Right. Like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of...
But that'd be interesting if like they actually weren't evil at all. Yeah. And we're just like this new couple, but you're so like sketched up by them.
Right. I mean, I really do think that that's going to be like one of the things that they're going to pull through, because she freaks out. She like still sketchy about them. She like literally puts up barriers. Yeah. And you know, it's the funniest thing because like when Kai does, so Kai, I hope I'm saying it right, but Evan Peters' character, he's now running for council because like that seat is empty, like the Asian guy died.
But also like how can you just run for council? Like don't you I thought like you need to be like involved or something.
No, I don't think so. I think
anyone could just run for council.
Yeah. So he's like picketing? No, he's surveying. So he's going around and he's like talking to people.
Well, first of all, the video got released, the video of him getting beaten up by a bunch of Mexicans that he set them up, obviously. Yeah, obviously. So he's using that to be like, I'm the victim.
Right. And he's like, I don't want to be like known as a person that's like a victim. I want to be known as like someone who can like change shit in this town. So he ends up going to Allie's place, like Sarah Paulson's place, and at that point in time, she just put up like her gates on the walls. So then she ended up talking to him, and he's like, I'm running for this. He had to apologize because he was the one that threw a latte in their faces on the street. So they ended up just talking through the gate. And I think it was really metaphorical to how both sides are talking to each other. Like he's an extreme and she's an extreme.
Like she's getting there almost.
And she's the one that's putting the wall between the two of them. So she doesn't want to talk to anybody.
And she's showing up with like a knife behind her back too. Like she's like,
and he makes one of the most poignant points of the entire episode, which is basically he was saying, or she was saying something like, I want to build bridges, not walls. But I'm like, but you literally put up gates on your entire house.
He's like, what are you going to do with this? What did he say?
He's like, are you going to melt this metal down and
to build a bridge? Like, he's right.
He's right. Like, he's absolutely right. Like, I think at the end of the day, like when the fear takes over you, you're just as bad as the other side of it, you know? Like,
but here's my thing. She has every right to be fearful. Like someone just got murdered in her workplace.
That's
like,
fair.
Like
fair.
All these things I understand, and yeah, it makes sense. Don't be fearful. But like, bro, like someone just got butchered in her freaking restaurant. So like, I feel like it's a different scenario because shit is happening. Her neighbors just got slaughtered to death across her street. Like, I feel like she has every right to be fearful.
Yeah, that's true. It's a different scenario.
If those things hadn't happened and they were all in her like in her dreams or whatever, I'd be like 100% girl. Like, like wake the F up. But like, no, like stuff did happen,
right?
And like bad shit happened,
right?
So I don't know, like if you lived across from like a house that just got like murdered, like I think you'd like be like, I'm gonna like
yeah, that's true.
Like you get alarm system or something, right? Like,
but I mean, I think it's her character does not show, like it's a lot of the talk and like not a lot of the show, and I think that's what a lot of people get mad at with a lot of like the liberal side, I guess I should say, where they're like, we want to build bridges, but I'm like, but what are you doing to build that bridge? Like, are you building bridges to talk to the other side, or are you building bridges to talk to the same people that feel the same way that you feel? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying that he's in the right in any regard either, because he comes at her like really, really aggressively, and like she has every right to like not let him in and shit like that. I get that, but at the same time, I feel like that whole moment was for us to understand that both sides, whether they're wrong or not, need to have some sort of dialogue. You cannot just shut the door on somebody and just be like, this is the way I feel, I'm going to close my bubble. Because that is how
but neither side
Trump
has a
got
solution,
elected president of the United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that like the fact that none of them had the solution, absolutely. I think that's what it is like, the left didn't have the right solution, the right didn't have the right solution, but the point is someone was elected and might like go and screw things up, you know? So everyone, like, it's what we were saying last episode, everyone is to blame when it comes to what happened in the election and what's happening in the world right now, and we have to come together somehow, and the only way to do that is to have the conversation,
right?
Talk about it.
But when there's like extreme factors thrown into that mix, like everyone can have a gun on them and everyone can like have a weapon,
I agree, then
this other shit happens too, right? It's it's like very two extremes that need to be like brought down a little bit, and then the dialogue can happen and like the discussion can happen.
Absolutely.
But like they're both operating at two different levels, and like this is when shit happens. And by the end of the episode, like that her neighbor gives her a gun, like he's like, take what guns, like protect you, whatever. And then the power goes out, which again was like, how's all this stuff happening to these people? Like these poor people, like what's happening in their town?
What's going on in Michigan, guys?
And then like her wife's like worker came to like give her like candles or whatever, but like she's so like sketching out that like she opens the door and like she just shoots the guy and she kills him. I'm like, oh god, here we go now.
I totally like booked that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but like I didn't think it was gonna happen right then and there. Like it was so
they're
fast.
Gonna end the episode off with her shooting him by accident. I'm like, oh god.
It's a little predictable.
It's very predictable.
But like, I don't know.
So what did you think of the home invasion? Was it real? Was it not real? Like, were people in the house? Like, I don't know, man. Because I
think it's real.
She got to the power box and like the things were pulled.
Yeah, I think it's real, and that's what I mean. Like, if stuff wasn't happening like right across their street, I wouldn't be thinking this to be like,
the ice cream truck is outside.
Yeah, like I feel like the kid did see what he saw. Like,
no, he did
for sure.
100%
like he did. The girl's just
it.
Like saying like it was a dream or whatever.
Like that like that's the thing. Like when they have the conversation and she's like, why did you lie to my parents? Like she's like, you have to understand that like it's just I lied, but it's not a big deal. Like, don't worry about it so much. But then
I don't know
what
they're trying to say.
But then they go into the house when like the neighbors invite them over, and they see like the smiley face and shit like that, like on the bloody.
So it did happen.
So it did happen,
right,
and like you would think that like the lesbian couple would be like, oh, okay, well, like the Changs didn't do that. We know them. They wouldn't have like drawn a happy face with blood.
Yeah, and they kind of just saw it and they ran away, and they were like, they didn't kind of come back to it after.
Like at that point in time, I would go back to my son and be like, okay, like what happened?
Maybe you were right.
I was like, did you you see a smiley face on the door?
Yeah,
ask him all these connection questions to see if his like story was true or not. You know, like I think that would be totally fair. But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like here's the thing with American Horror Story. Sometimes I feel like, yes, it's well written. It is always like chock full of an amazing cast, and the storyline is usually like, really intriguing, but it's not like the best show in the world. It
used to be though.
It was good.
First 3 seasons were like amazing.
I feel like it has its moments where there's a lot of weird plot holes, and
I feel like it has been like that for the last couple of seasons. Hotel was amazing.
Yeah.
Hotel was like beyond.
Yeah.
But like Roanoke, definitely like a lot of freaking holes. Like,
but even looking back at like Asylum like had a lot of plot holes too, and I was like, okay, why is this connecting the way it's connecting? Yeah. So
I think the message they're trying to express is amazing this season for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't understand like how I'm supposed to be feeling right now because like I do think she's crazy, but I also think she's like crazy right because like there was a murder across the street. Like she has every right to do what she is doing.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I can't even. I don't even know what to predict.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think about the season so far. I know it's only.
I wasn't
2.
excited to watch it though. Like I was sort of just watching because like I wanted to see what like.
So we can do this podcast.
Yeah, but like I wasn't like, oh my god, it's gonna blow my mind away because I was like, I don't know.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I think like, this show needs to be entertaining, and like there is a level of horror that I kind of expect from this show, and I'm not getting scared. Yeah. It's too much predictable jump scariness, and I feel like everything's very flat right now.
Even some of the sound effects, because I was like they would throw in a sound effect. I'm like, that didn't even match up, or like that had nothing to do with like what just happened. Like what? It was such a like thrown in sound effect to like throw you off and like creep you out. And maybe because we've been watching this show for like freaking 7 years, like
even when she
doesn't sting us anymore.
Even
like
when she saw the honeycomb, I was like laughing because like she's like freaking out again.
Oh my god, I
the
burst
holes.
out laughing when she saw the holes. I was dying, and then when he like scrapes the honey off, it's like I'm like, okay, but it's not creepy. It's just honey, like.
It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like right now they're pushing it. They're pushing the entertain, and that's what I mean. I feel like the horror attaches itself to entertainment, which is attaches itself to wanting to watch the show. You know, I think that is what the package is. Like, if it is scary, if it is engaging, you want to see this like excitement. You want to see what's gonna happen next. Right now, I'm like, okay, I don't even know what's gonna happen next. I kind of don't even care because she just keeps making stupid mistakes. Like she literally just shot somebody. Do you think
Evan Peters' character and that new guy are they working together?
Like connected?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know anymore. I'm like her. I'm like, I don't know what's real anymore.
And what's gonna happen to her now? Like she's gonna get arrested?
Maybe. Or she'll be like, yo, he like came in and knew who the fuck he was. And then she becomes like a racist.
Yeah.
You know?
They'll be like, true. Like she was just protecting herself. And she's like, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Look how easy it is to become like
turn to the other side.
Turn it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. I can see that happening.
I can see that happening for sure. Anyway, let us know what you guys think about this podcast and the episode. Tweet us at recap_rewind. Like, subscribe.
We'll be back next week.
And check us out. Thanks.
Bye.